You know, some people, they say clock me, but I don't care. I'm me. And that's it. And so my coming out was a yo-yo as being a gay man because, well, that was the wrong answer. My name is Grace, and this is my video out. I'm Grace Balzar. I am, well, I just had a birthday, so I'm 37. I start my story pretty rough. I had a lot of abuse and neglect from my biological parents, and I think my father knew that I was trans before I did, and he had a huge issue with it and punished me quite a bit, and I pushed it way down. But my sexuality piece, the being attracted to men, was always there. And after bouncing around in foster homes and other things, I got adopted into a family who didn't know any of that. And so here I am with a lot of rough things going on in Colorado, like this Amendment 2, which was pretty much a license to discriminate, was very hard. And then his stories of different people coming out and rough, and just around the time I'm ready to come out, I may have even come out and told my folks that I was gay. Little did I know, but it was right around the time that Matthew Shepard was murdered. And so that was really rough on the family and wondering what's going to happen to me, and there was a lot of questions. And so I kind of went and danced in and out of the closet for a couple years, as there was a lot of emotional stuff, and they were sending me to counselors to make sure that wasn't because of the abuse or anything else like that. And so I finally did come out, and I had a nice relationship with somebody, and that fell through. And then I went up into Oregon for 2.5 years of depression to kind of recover, and then I came back, and I got involved with an awesome church, and they helped me in a lot of ways. And one of the things was really understanding my sexuality piece versus my full identity piece, which was really complicated. And I got a lot from there, but I hadn't quite remembered my gender identity, if you can say, until I had gone to another church, which then led me to volunteer at the Center for the LGBT Community here in Denver. And as I was doing that, I had the volunteer coordinator here is just an awesome woman, and she was encouraging me if I wanted to wear my high heels or anything, just kind of lean in and a little bit. And here was the first time I ever came out in public as Grace. And well, I didn't know if Grace at that time was going to be my name, but through that I got involved with our Gender Identity Center, which is an awesome place here in Denver too, and they had counseling. And as I was counseling with the gender identity and working on all that piece and just describing all the things that I had been through, my counselor asked me, what was it that kept me together through everything that has happened in my life? And I just sat, I listened, and I felt that spot, and I heard Grace, and I named it, and realized that that was my name. And it was just an awesome moment, and I kind of, I was working a different job, and I quit that job, got a new job where I just started as Grace from day one. Even before my legal name change had gone through, my work was awesome, and it was, my name tag made me tear up. It said Grace Balzar right on the name tag, and it was just just an awesome moment to see. Yeah, that was really special. And when I started, I went full tilt, and I told my family I'm Grace, and this is going to happen. They were a little hesitant, but about my niece and nephew knowing. But it just happened one day. I had just had an amazing makeover, was wearing everything, and had no idea that they were gonna be at the house. And I come in, and they're there, and I'm Grace, and they, oh yeah, that was your uncle, and it's great, and Grace, and so yeah. There's been some hard times where they still misgender or misname me, and that's a little rough. But you know, you take it day by day, and you know they're struggling too. But you're like, come on, get it right. And sometimes it can be hard to be patient. Yeah. So it is important to use the correct pronouns for people, not only for validity. I mean, for me it's not been a validity kind of thing, but it's just sort of a, I am present here now, and this is who I am. And when you say the wrong pronouns or the wrong name, it really hurts. Pretty deeply. You're like, well, it's not so much that I need to know who I am, but that I would like them to know who I am. And when they use the wrong pronouns, it feels like then they don't know who I am. The LGBT community it's incredibly tight here in some ways. I mean, of course, there's the cattiness that goes on everywhere. But in Denver, there's we've been through a lot, from Amendment 2 to our own things that have happened throughout, and everything that seems to want to pull us apart brings us closer and closer together. And there's some amazing places. I mentioned the Gender Identity Center and the LGBT Community Center of Colorado, or we just say the center. And those are pretty awesome. And then there's clubs and bars of every kind for each person. You can go to where you feel most comfortable. The most at-risk people in the LGBT community are trans women of color. Without a doubt, threats from outside the LGBT community. We've had murder here. A good friend, the volunteer coordinator here, lost a niece who was a trans woman of color just last year, murdered in New York. Yeah, I mean, I count myself lucky, not just in my my racial background, but my passability in some ways. That I can go down the street and I get manned. But for those African women, trans women of color who don't pass, it can be quite a struggle. I wish I was in even more of a position where I could reach out. That instead of in a very white suburb of Denver and working in a high-rise apartment where uber rich live, it's hard to, then get into places where I can actually serve more. But I want to be a counselor, and I'm looking for clients now, and then I really want to concentrating on the LGBT community and even hopefully more on the transgender, to really use what I've gone through to help people, because I've seen a lot of it. So yeah, and in that way I can help as I can. Yeah. My favorite part about being Grace is how much I actually live up to that name, and how much I exude it, and how much it actually says who I am a lot more than my dead name Jean that ever did. In fact, when I say it, it's got roughness to it, but just being who I am is just so much more comfortable, and I can reach out to people. I have a lot more confidence. I wouldn't be sitting here right now back then. And so it's so freeing to be me, Grace, as I am right now.
Wow, you're such a light. You really are. I can see your the beauty of your soul, and so thanks for being you.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those that are still experiencing abuse today, it's a really rough time, and I just want to say that I think about you, whoever you are, all the time. Just keeping you in mind that, yeah, that's a struggle you're going through, but the one thing I'd say to hold on to is you know who you are. Deep inside, you know who you are. And that is incredibly beautiful, and it will hold you on, and that is the definition of resilience. No matter what anybody else says who you are, you know who you are. Hold on to that.